welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasyl Shevchenko, former transportation minister of Ukraine. Vasyl, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, something caught my eyes earlier this morning with Putin. He said that he sent a clear warning to the NATO nations that he don't have to use nuclear weapons because he's winning the war. But he also advised them to stop giving and supporting Ukraine with military equipment, or else he may very well have to use nuclear weapons. Do you think he's bluffing or he's just stupid? Which one?
To be honest, he has repeated it many times. First of all, we heard it from the very beginning when he didn't manage to capture Ukraine during 3 days, then 1 week, then month, then year, then second year, and now we are fighting with him third years. And he have been warning Western countries different ways that he has a nuclear weapon, and then he tried to demonstrate that he can transmit nuclear weapon, tactical nuclear weapon to Belarus, and we saw that they imitated transporting it to Belarus, and we haven't received his action, and now I think that it's his next bluff, just to demonstrate that his domestic relations and situation at the battle line isn't good for him. As usual, he has been commenting it this way after full-scale propaganda from Russia Federation, and they had former Russia's president who's abusing alcohol, and he has been commenting it many times, and I think that they are trying to demonstrate that they are cool, but nevertheless we have heard that they have committed many crimes. Last events, they decided to attack Ukrainian hospital allocated in the Kiev hospital for children with heavy oncology disease. And after just in this time, he had meeting with India's prime minister, who visited Russia Federation for business talks. And I know that India is interested in energy resources from Russia Federation, and after sanctions, their prices are really low, and they are buying it because they are interested in low energy resources, and then he had to stop his negotiations further, and decided to comment that he condemns killing people and condemns military action which are not provoked, because we know that India has tensions between China and Pakistan along their territories. And I think that just after that, after this information was spread around the world, he decided to switch on for something more important personally for him. And he decided to comment that if Ukraine will receive fighter jets from European Union, they will be able to use tactical nuclear weapon. But there are many conditions because we have been speaking about fighter jets for Ukraine third year. And last events after 75th anniversary meeting took place in United States. Promised Ukraine fighter jets, but last news that Ukraine will receive only six fighter jet F-16 Ukraine will have during this summer. And the same time we know that they are using old bombs which was repaired by them, copied Western type of ammunition and turned it into a gliding bomb. And they are launching tons of bombs. And for example, they are launching it many times during a day. And we know that it isn't precision ammunition. And it means that they are killing civilians. Every day we can hear inside of Ukraine that Russia's gliding bomb have killed in Ukraine civilians which who are living in the bordering settlements. And it means that here are parallel reality, and I think that he decided maybe to answer for this meeting because NATO bloc meeting promised for Ukraine more than 40 billion for next year. It's military support for Ukraine, and thanks it, Ukraine forces are fighting more effectively. Today, for example, in the morning, I saw the news that Ukraine's forces managed to liberate one settlement at the border with Russia Federation. They wanted to capture it, but Ukraine forces managed to drive them away from this village and holding Ukraine's border at the Kharkiv direction. Nevertheless, they have many points. They continuous fighting. They continuous sending their soldiers to storm Ukraine's fortification, and every day we can see that there are more than 100, from 100 to 200 every day's clashes. They are sending newly drafted people to attack Ukraine's fortifications. And because of it, they have had during last months more than 1,000 soldiers a day.
I want to ask you this question, Vasyl. Putin made it clear there's no need to use nuclear weapons, that he are winning over cities. Matter of fact, he went as far as stating that Ukrainian soldiers had to retreat from a major city that they are capturing. Is that true?
To be honest, we have a lot of clashes at the battle line, and a few days ago we had an information that Ukraine's forces were surrounded by Russians, but after 2 months fighting surrounded by Russian forces, Ukraine's forces managed to break through this surround and to leave this territory. And we can say that Ukraine forces were fighting effectively and were providing ammunition and military equipment by drones. You know that Ukrainians are fighting with Russians by drones because we were limited in ammunition, and Ukraine have to build a new type of weapon. It's new drones. We have different type of drones, and last drones it's FPV drones, which are fighting and eliminating Russia's military forces. For example, today Ukraine's forces eliminated 43 Russia's tanks. And we know that Ukraine forces are fighting by drones because we are limited in resources, and we have to fight cheaper weapon just to compensate their advantages at the battle line, because they have domination in the sky, and we haven't managed to turn it into Ukraine's favor. Because, for example, we hope for aircrafts from our partners and for flying radars, which were donated Ukraine by Sweden. And after that, we hope we will be able to stop this fighting, because exactly that Ukraine's forces are fighting more effectively because we defend our motherland, and we have no choice. But Russian forces are being sent at the battle line just to make money. Now they are paying more than $15,000 every mercenaries who decided to join to their army. And as usual, it's last payment this mercenary can receive from Russians. And you know that during the visit, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, demanded from Russia Federation immediately to send back to India Indians who were deceived and were withdrawn, were involved in this war, and Prime Minister asked to pay killed mercenaries from India compensation, and immediately to send residents home. And they immediately had done it. Because they depends on, and they are looking for around the globe to find mercenaries to send to fight, because we know that Russia have had a lot of casualties inside of Russia Federation. They are limited, and it's appeared they have formed a new aggressive military bloc together with Northern Korea, Iran, and it's appeared with China. Because a few days ago appeared information that Chinese decided to join to military drills in Belarus. It's close to Ukraine. And today we have seen that Russians launch Iranians produced drones above Ukraine's territory, and one of them crossed Ukraine's territory and flew to Belarus, where are their drills. And it's first time when China decided to join and just decided to play their role in military sphere. It's a dangerous signal for different countries, because they decided to demonstrate that they have military opportunities to act. And because of it, I'd say that the situation is quite difficult, and nevertheless, we hope that our allies will stay with us and will work with us, and we will be ready to defend our country and to defend Europe. Because yes, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I want to answer this question. Do you think that if Donald Trump become president again in the United States of America, that he will still continually support President Putin, who is so guilty of committing so much war crimes against humanity? What's your opinion on that?
I have no answer for these questions because it depends on Americans. But nevertheless, I think that his idea to communicate with this kind of countries, with these leaders, I don't know how he will shake hands Putin after his killing Ukrainians ill for heavy disease for oncology people, and it's he who ordered to kill, and I don't know how we'll communicate with him. I don't think that he will be success in it, and it looks a little bit it's bad idea.
But he doesn't embrace the NATO nations that much. He figured that they're not doing the equal part, and it's a good likelihood that should he get back to be president again, I don't know how much support the NATO nations will get from him, and I don't know how much support Ukraine may get from him also. So with that being said, I just think that Zelensky and President Biden should make advanced strategic plans of securing, I mean, the months are pretty close before the next general election, but should be in a position to make some advanced agreement that is well concreted that could propel them through this war that they're presently going through. What is your take on that?
Now I'd say I'd like to answer for these questions.
That's a tough one.
Yes. Okay. Here are a lot of challenges, and first of all, we must understand that maybe we are in the crucial moment for the world, because nobody knows what will be next. How will act China? How will act Russia and their partners? We must understand that they are not predictable persons, and danger depends on their opinions. It's wrong way, and it's impossible, because world order is slowly collapsing, and first of all because of threatening this kind of autocracies. But we must understand that they have profits from developed countries, and developed countries are not interested to acknowledge that it's they who whose cooperation was growing up and maybe encouraging this autocracy, because we have had many ideas, especially from Germany's officials who were interested in cooperation with the Russia Federation, just to have partnership and just to establish economical relations, with the hopes to have friendship and to have good relations. But as a result, they provided them billion resources, and these resources hadn't been consumed Russians. It was sent to military sphere, and now their money are fighting against European partners, because these threats, it isn't only threats for Ukraine, it's threats for, first of all, for Europe and for industry. And it appeared that this biggest Union NATO bloc are not able to defend their members effectively, and afraid to provoke Russia Federation. And it means that this fear is encouraging Russia Federation, and they will go further. They will go to the point where they will be defeated, or they will be demonstrated that there are strengths to deter them, to demonstrate them that we are able to resist, not only to keep silence and to promise 6 planes for Ukraine at the third year. Because now I think that all countries around the world must understand it, because as a result, this type of treating will be established around the world, because this autocracy will understand that it works. It works, that they are threatening people around the world by nuclear weapon. They are threatening their military forces. They are threatening their economical sanctions, or limits for providing food. You know that Russia's war started against Ukraine started with the blocking seaports, and Ukraine hadn't been able to provide byproduct countries around the world. And we are one from the biggest countries who's supplying products around the world. And it means that they wanted to provoke this crisis, just to blackmail people around the world, blackmail people from different countries. And now we can see that United Nations isn't able to fulfill their obligations because of veto rights for China and Russia Federation, and these rights allow them to block any decision, and it means that country which is launching war is putting veto rights for limits for themselves, and it's nonsense. It's impossible to understand, and because of it, this challenge most important for United States, and because of it we are together, because of it we are fighting together, and United States has become our main partner, and we have received a lot of support from United States. For example, I have had many my friends' opinion, and that they are really thankful for United States citizens, for every Americans who knows that we are together, and who supported support for Ukraine, aid for Ukraine. And because we are using this weapon is fighting against invaders. This weapon is fighting for democracy, and this weapon is fighting for human rights. This weapon is fighting for defending children, and you know that There are no many countries which are able to resist Russia Federation in Europe and around Russia Federation, because they haven't formed their military forces, and because of it, Russia abusing it, and because of it, Russia is provoking them. And you can see that, according to Russia's opinion, all their neighbors are their enemies. They have provoked Moldova, they have provoked Georgia, they have provoked many times Baltic countries, and now they are fighting in Ukraine. And it means that it's challenge, and it means that Russia cannot exist in this condition. And all people must understand it, because their unions with, for example, North Korea allows us to understand that this country without limit, they are not able to control nuclear weapons, that they are not able to control their military forces, despite of economical casualties for their economies.
Do you think that Putin will ever be brought up on war crime charges in the international court?
Yes, I think that the international court must issue a next warrant for him, because he has one warrant from criminal court, and now he's afraid to travel in the country, who's joined to Rome regulations, because it's based for funding international criminal court. And I think that he must be punished, and he must be demonstrated that that he is wrong, and this way isn't
we have come to the
way for
last couple
development.
of minutes of the show. Definitely we'll be on in the future again. So until then, take good care.